Good morning, my dear students. How are you? I hope that you are all fine and safe. Today, our class, harmful microorganisms. Harmful microorganisms. Harmful microorganisms. Harmful microorganisms. Previous class explained some common diseases caused by microorganisms in humans. Some common diseases caused by microorganisms in humans. Now, some diseases caused by microorganisms. In animals. Some diseases affecting animal body through microorganisms, through harmful microorganisms. Anthrax disease. This disease is mostly affected in cattle, sheep and goat. Anthrax disease is mostly affected in sheep and goat. And this is also affected in humans, like foot and mouth problems. Okay. Anthrax disease affected in sheep and goat. This disease is also affected in human beings, foot problems and mouth problems. Viral infectious diseases can be affected in France. Some of the bacterial infectious diseases affected in poultry industries, poultry farms. These are the common diseases affected by microorganisms in animals. Are you understood, my dear students? Next, some diseases caused by microorganisms in plants. Some diseases caused by microorganisms in plants. First one is citrus canker. This is one of the bacterial infectious disease. Citrus xanthomy. This disease affected in citrus fruit plants. Citrus canker. This is bacterial infectious disease, citrus xanthomy. This disease is affected in citrus fruit plants. Next, red rot in sugarcane. Red rot disease in sugarcane plants. This is fungal infectious disease. Red rot in sugarcane. Next. Tick disease in groundnut plants. Tick disease in groundnut plants. This is also fungal infectious disease. Tick disease. Next, tobacco mosaic. These diseases can be affected in tobacco plants. Tobacco mosaic disease is affected in tobacco plants. This is fungal infectious disease. Fungal infectious disease. Next, smut disease. Smut disease in rice plants. In rice plants. This is viral infectious disease. This is viral infectious disease. Tekka disease in groundnut, fungal infectious disease. Tobacco mosaic, tobacco plants, fungal infectious disease. Smut disease in rice plants. This is viral infectious disease. These are some diseases caused by microorganisms in plants. Okay. Next. Food poisoning. Food poisoning. Food poisoning. Food poisoning. You might have heard and read the newspaper. Some people are hospitalized due to consumption of contaminated food materials. Food poisoning. Spoil the food materials. That people suffer continuous vomitings and motions. Sometimes will be die. You might have heard and read the newspaper. Some people are hospitalized due to consumption of contaminated food material, spoiling the food materials. That people suffer continuous vomitings and motions. Sometimes they will be die. One of the harmful bacteria, Clostridium botulinum, Clostridium botulinum. This is one of the bacteria, harmful bacteria, release toxic substances in the food materials. Clostridium botulinum is one of the bacteria, release toxic material. Toxic means poisonous substances. These bacteria enters into the uncovered food materials and release toxic or poisonous substance. The food materials can be spoiled. It causes the disease botulism. Botulism is one of the disease caused by Clostridium botulinum. Botulism is a disease. Consumption of contaminated food materials, spoilage the food materials, continuous vomitings and motions. So we can preserve the food materials in proper way. Preserve the food materials in proper way. Are you understood, my dear students? Food poisoning, contaminated food materials. Consumption of food material is very dangerous. Most of the people eating contaminated food materials spoils the food materials. It is very harmful effect of our body. This is food poisoning. Next, food preservation. Food preservation. Food preservation. We can preserve the food materials. You can eat different types of food materials. You can preserve the food materials. How can you preserve the food materials? 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 Already we have learned in your previous class, 6th class, preservative methods. Preservative methods. Adding salt, oil, chili powder. These are the ingredients. Salt, oil, chili powder, these are the ingredients. These ingredients helps to preservation of the food materials. For example, your mother making pickles, lemon pickle, mango pickle, etc. By using these ingredients, adding salt, oil and chili powder, these ingredients help to preservation of the food materials. Next, drying in sunlight. Drying in sunlight. Some of the food materials can be dried in sunlight. For example, vegetable slices, fruit slices, fishes, etc. You know that microbes can be grown in moister places or water content places. Drying in sunlight, sun exposure, water content is removed from the food materials. Sun exposure helps to remove the water content from the food materials. Drying in sunlight is one of the most effective method to preservation of the food materials. Drying in sunlight. Another one is smoking method. In rural areas or villages, most of the people can be used smoking method to preservation of the food materials. Smoking method. Next,